I'm curious, what was your first car? I think it was something like this or this. My car is this. I can listen to this engine idling forever. It wasn't enough for me to just overhaul this engine. I decided to go further and install a water cooling system into this air-cooled engine. Basically, it's not a complete water-cooled system, rather an auxiliary one. Okay, let me show you a scheme. This is one of two-cylinder heads. It is cooled completely by air, but it has small channels here and here. It's possible to weld these channels up and we will get nice chambers through which we can run coolant. You may say these chambers are small compared to the entire cylinder head. Yes, I agree. However, these are the most thermally loaded parts of the engine because they're exhaust channels. So we could cool these parts a little and it would allow the engine to perform better. Additionally, I need hot coolant to heat the LPG reducer. It gets really cold because of transforming liquid propane into a gaseous state, so it doesn't work without additional heat. You won't believe it, but it was clean here recently. However, when I started to work with this water cooling, I got quite messy here. Anyway, now I need to route all the hoses here and there, and after that I need to connect them to this small radiator. But I think it will be too hot here, so probably I will move it to the front. Of course, this engine doesn't have any water pumps, so I installed an electric one here. It was much neater in my head, but now I'm afraid that pipes and hoses will ruin all my attempts to make a real clean look under the hood. Holy cow, I have no choice. On the other hand, I can uninstall it at any moment if I'm not happy. Experience doesn't come by itself.
Wild and always kinda strange, dreaming of horsepower that knew no range. Kids at school mocked my car loving ways, drawing Mustangs through my high school days. Teen years hit, still a bit of a loner. Neighbors tease me, there goes the tuner. Built the car from trash, tore up the block, singing songs of chrome and an engine knock. Hey Mustang, oh mine, rusty but so fine. Right through every mile with that vintage style, crew dust and ride. Mustang, oh mine, rusty but so fine. Cruising back in time, just me and the road, oh Mustang, oh mine.
LPG system is installed, connected and working just brilliantly. So there is nothing to say about this. Next, I decided to add more light to the trunk, so I installed a nice warm LED strip. It provides such nice lighting, it's so cozy here. Anyway, I'm finishing the heating, or rather cooling unit. It depends on what the temperature outside is. I took these fans for the radiator, which I finally moved to the front of the car and made a housing for it. This heater is connected to the original heater pipes, so it's easy to control airflow. We can route warm air into the car or just outside. Here I'm going to add these fans and they will turn on from the temperature sensor. The sensor is set for 70–80 degrees Celsius. It's hard to believe, but a gasoline heater was originally installed here. You could just imagine the level of safety back in the 1960s or 70s. But the owners of these cars were rest assured they wouldn't burn their cars, because it was impossible to get this heater to work. I screwed up, just completely screwed up. I put in so much work to install inner sieving joints instead of universal joints, because they are too unreliable. It turned out just perfect, but I didn't take into account one important thing. Never ever couple a CV joint with the U-joint, or you will get really strong shakes and jerks during accelerations. The larger the angle, the stronger the shakes. Especially considering there were these spacers to increase the clearance, not to mention that these spacers weren't installed properly. Of course, they should be removed. But now it's clear for me, two U-joints balance each other out, because one U-joint has inconsistent angular speed. If I had seen this Wikipedia article earlier, I would have swapped outer U-joints as well. Anyway, for now, I'm going to lower the suspension, and then I will decide what to do next. A small update on the oil filtration. This is the centrifugal filter we were talking about in the previous episodes. So it looks like this from the inside. After the 200 kilometers braking period, all the inner walls are coated with a quite thick layer of dirt. Of course, it is supposed to be so. However, we cannot be sure some of the particles are not trapped into the crankshaft under some conditions. That's why it's crucial to add a conventional oil filter to this system. And the solution is pretty straightforward. We just need to make the central hollow bolt longer, so that it not just holds the pulley on the crankshaft, but also allows us to screw the filter onto this stud. So oil will run through the conventional filter first, and then through the centrifugal filter, as it should be. This way oil should be cleaner than in any other engine in this world. Basically, the same principle was used to install the oil filter into the smaller version of this engine on our motorcycle. This mod works just perfectly, but you have to be sure that the oil pump works properly and is able to supply a good oil flow and oil pressure. Dad, what do you think about our garage craziness? Is it possible to finish all our projects and take a little rest? Definitely not. You know, we have too many cars, motorcycles and engines in the backyard. We need to do something with it. If we sold something, we could concentrate our time on one project. Yeah, that's true. Well, the car runs well. To be honest, so much work has been done with this car, but it wasn't filmed because it was before I started this YouTube channel. As a first car, this car is a nice opportunity to gain basic maintenance skills and has brought out some engineering skills in us. As for this car, we have got a buyer for it. And he specifically wants this car. He's a kind of customizing guy as well, so we have an idea for our next project. It's going to be a real custom, so my father and I just need some time to find a good offer. But I bet you haven't seen such a car yet. Well, see you under the hood.